what does God do in response to Abram's challenges and questions? Verse 9 seems very weird to us. That's the answer, by the way. Here's God's answer. So how will I know? And God says, bring me a heifer, a female goat, a ram, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. Okay, thanks God. That cleared everything up. I feel a lot better, okay? It gets worse. Cut them in half and lay them against each other, okay? That seems very odd to us, and that should seem odd to us. You know who it did not seem odd to? It did not seem odd to Abram, because that was actually a part of an ancient ritual that was well known, well constructed, and often done whenever a big king would make a covenant or a promise with a littler king, okay? So they would lay those animals out, and they would make whatever the promise is. I promise to protect you and your little tiny empire, and you all promise to give us, taxes and whatever we need. And we're going to put these animals out here, and little king, you're going to walk between them two. And what you're saying is, if you break your side of the bargain, may your life and your country become like these animals. Okay? They act out their covenants. Notice who walks between these animals. Verse 17. When the sun had gone down and it was dark, a smoking fire pot and a flaming torch passed between these pieces. On that day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram. Notice who walks between the pieces. Not Abram, but God. The same flaming fire pot that will lead the people of Israel through the desert. God is saying, Abram, if I don't come through for you, if my promises aren't fulfilled, may I be cut off and die. It's miraculous. And Abram has to be thinking in that moment, oh God, I cannot walk that line. So notice who doesn't walk through there. Abram. Abram was never ordered to walk through the pieces. God says, may I be cut off if I fail. And Abram, may I be cut off if you fail. God says, if I don't do my side of the covenant and take care of you and protect you and bless you and multiply you, if I don't do that, may I be torn apart. And, Abram, if you and your people become faithless, I will be torn apart on their behalf. And the rest of the story we see, this unbelievably one-sided covenant points us to Jesus, where years later darkness will come upon the earth again, where Christ himself, God in the flesh, will be on the cross crying out, my God, why have you forsaken me? Where Jesus will be beat down and cut off in place of humanity whom he came to save. See, God told Abram, I would rather die and be cut off than to see you fall away from my covenant. And on the cross, he did.